Hello, online crew. Today we're going to talk about working smarter and not harder. So I want to share with you how I stopped creating so much content and my business actually grew. How many of you find content creation exhausting? Just the thought process of it, of I know I need to post something, today or tomorrow. What should I post? And you get so overwhelmed with what it should be or the thought process that, sometimes that stops you in your tracks and it doesn't end up happening at all. So you just end up thinking, I'll post tomorrow. So the content creation process is what takes a lot of people out of the game. But when I say I stopped creating so much content, I didn't say I stopped posting. So what I mean by that is when you learn to work smarter and not harder, you learn to repurpose your content. So you don't have to create as much content, but you're still showing up as you need to show up. So a lot of you will know kind of like my personal story with my health issues at the moment. Like I'm just not able to show up as much as I normally usually would in the last couple of months. I've got a lot of other things that are in the way now, like treatments and medical appointments and things that I didn't have to worry about before. So my time is a little bit more limited. I'm also, at various times when I have my chemo treatments, I'm just not able to do anything. So my time is a little bit different to what it used to be. And we've all got stuff going on. So whether that's your health or somebody you look after or kids or grandkids or elderly parents or moving house or, whatever it is that you've got going on, we've all got life going on. And so there's certain times where we just find the content creation process really draining and overwhelming. And sometimes that lets us down. So it can be a bit of a mindset issue with, I can't be bothered or I don't have the time or, whatever the excuses are, there are various times where you just don't post as much. So reality for me in the last couple of months is I've created a lot less newer content that I normally would. However, I found other ways to show up. And my business has actually grown in the last month. My following on both TikTok and Instagram have grown over 2,000 people, both platforms, each of them, by how I've shown up lately, but I'm actually created less new content. Okay. So what I've been doing is repurposing. And I've spoken about this a lot lately, but some of you are working way too hard thinking that you need to create new content all the time. Whereas if you've been on social media any longer than 3 months, which probably most of you are, like any longer than 3 months, and you can start repurposing your content. There's just a strategy kind of as to how you do it. But, those of you in my coaching community, I just finished a training in there, walking you through this step by step on each platform. Facebook and how I repurpose those contents like my written posts, and TikTok and Instagram. And I walked you through it and I showed you visually how I do it as well. So I am repurposing a lot of my content at the moment. And trust me, the internet moves very fast. You've got about 6 seconds to grab somebody's attention. And even when you do, like 5-10 minutes later, definitely 24 hours later, they've kind of even forgotten about you and what you posted. No one remembers what you posted like recently. And I tell you, they certainly don't remember what you posted 3 months ago. Especially if you take a post of your own, you throw it into AI and you say, can you give me a slightly different version of this with a different attention grabbing, hook or first line, depending whether it's a video or a written post. Like if it's a written post, change your attention grabbing headline, throw it into AI, change it slightly and put a different picture on it. No one will ever know that it's basically the same kind of content. Does that make sense? And even with short form videos, the beauty of Reels and TikTok, whether that's on Facebook or Instagram for your Reels or TikTok as well, is they get pushed to a new audience every time you do one. So you can repurpose the hell out of your previous videos and they'll get sent to new people every time. So why wouldn't you spend some time organizing your content or in such a way that you can repurpose it and utilize your content that way? Because one, nobody remembers. Two, you're probably, really busy anyway. And three, you've got tools like AI to do a slightly different version of what you've already done, and it looks different anyway. Like if a lot of you adopted this strategy more strategically, you would cope with social media a lot easier. It's a bit of a lifesaver. And I want to reiterate that, in the last month, I've produced a lot less original content, but I've really drawn on previous videos and repurposed them. I've drawn on previous written posts on Facebook and just kind of recreated them. So I'm just working a lot smarter and not harder. And I did a lot better in my business in the last month in June that I did in May. Well, admittedly, I was in May in hospital for 2 months of May, but I was still the number 2 enroller for the whole company in May, even with that. But July, I've created even less new content. Like I've repurposed a lot more content, but it still works. And the trick to it is to analyze and evaluate your previous kind of content and what's worked and what resonates with people. You can repurpose content, but if you're just repurposing content for the sake of repurposing content and it's not really content that people resonated with, then what's the point? So all you really need to do is a quick evaluation, like scroll your Facebook. And again, coaching community members, I showed you how to filter that out by date and year and month and things like that on Facebook, and how you can do that. So you can redraw on, content from last year and just change it. And then when you find that kind of content and you've evaluated that, you can just take the links to it and store it in a Google Drive document. Again, coaching community members, I showed you how to do folders in a Google Drive and, do all of that. So refer to that video training. And I also gave you written notes as well on all of that, just how I do all of this. It's really worth exploring because, I'm just repeating myself again. No one remembers. I get people that leave the same call to action on my video a day after they've left it the day before. And then I go to message them and they've left it 3 times over the last 3 months. They don't even realize they're commenting on the same video or the same topic or whatever. People they're so busy, and social media and the internet moves so fast that people are moving on so quickly. Yet we get caught up in thinking we need to create original content all the time. You don't. You've got AI. So if you're not even utilizing that, whatever you post today, throw it in AI in 2 weeks' time and get a slightly different version of it and post it again, just with a different photo. Just get a lot smarter, because the other reason why you want to do this is there is absolutely no question, also because the internet moves so fast, people are spoiled for choice, they're skeptical, and they may not trust you yet to buy from you. And they need to hear the same message from you over and over and over and over again. I'm talking 20, 30 times before they'll even think about reaching out to you about whatever it is that you're talking about, whether it's a business opportunity or a product. People sit back and watch and scroll for a long time these days before they act. If you're lucky enough to get leads that put down a call to action and you can nurture that lead, good luck to you. But a lot of people will sit back and watch, and they're very skeptical of the online world now. There's so many dodgy people out there, for starters, that it makes people skeptical. But you need to say the same thing over and over and over again, just in multiple different ways. So how, further to what I've already shared about repurposing your own content, think of it in repurposing the same idea in 100 different ways. You should be doing that, as well, because people need that repetitive message to build the trust. And remember, if you've seen any of my videos in the last few weeks, well, I've talked about this for years, but most importantly, like in this day and age on social media, it's trust that you need to build on social media. It's human connection. Human connection creates trust. And if you don't have human connection and you don't have trust, nobody's buying anything from you. They're sitting back and watching, they're evaluating, they're analyzing, but they're not buying because the trust isn't there. Now, people need to know that you are absolutely convicted in what you do and what you sell and what you provide and the problems that you solve. And you need to say that over and over and over again. So with things like AI, you can come up with one idea and you can have one main product, but you can use AI to give you multiple different versions of posts. So that's how you can also like repurpose the one idea. Or maybe you did a really good post and it was just, you were surprised and it's like, oh, that one did really well. Then you take that post, you throw it into AI, you say, can you give me 10 different versions of this same post? And you use, let's say it's a written post, you use 10 different photos on your socials with very similar messaging. Like reuse the same idea. So that's another idea. So not only repurposing the same content and reusing it, so previous reels and previous TikToks that you've done, just reuse them, repurpose them. Like I did that last night. I had a specialist appointment, didn't have time to record anything. And I know I need to put something up. So I'm still showing up. I'm just not creating as much new content. So I scrolled my feed on TikTok. I found something that I posted a little while ago. It got reasonable views. And then I just reposted the exact same video with the exact same description, the exact same call to action, just slightly different wording on the hook, and reposted it. So I'm still showing up for my audience. I'm still getting new views. I'm still getting new followers. I'm still getting calls to action, but I haven't created a new piece of content. It's so refreshing. Try it. Even on Facebook, scroll back. What can you reuse? And if you don't want to use it exactly, then plug it into AI and ask AI to give you a slightly different version of wording. Okay? There's so many ways you can work smarter and not harder. The last thing I'd like to share on like kind of this repurposing is what are you already creating that you could create in a different way? Like if you're already doing a reel and you've either spoken in a reel, you've got a transcript of some sort, or you've got something written in the description, can you turn that into a written post? Can you turn that into a carousel post on Instagram? Can you share that in your stories? If you did a live video, can you do a post saying, 2 days before, saying, make sure you catch my, live video tomorrow or the next day. And then once you've done the live video, then a day later or 2 days later, you go, did you catch my live video from yesterday or the other day on blah, 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 and then you share the link. Like you can actually create pieces of content building off a post that you did or a reel that you did. Like you don't have to create new pieces of content all the time. If you learn to like these 3 main things that I'm sharing with you regarding repurposing and building on the same idea using AI with multiple different versions of kind of like the same kind of thing, and also repurposing like, the same piece of content, but in multiple different ways. There are so many things that you can do without having to create original content all the time. Okay. Thanks for your comment there, Belinda. It's very refreshing when you can learn to work smarter and not harder on social media. And this is exactly how you do it. And I'm here to share with you, life is busy and crazy for me, and I'm creating less new content, but I'm drawing on all these strategies that I'm sharing with you in these videos. And last month, my business grew, my following grew, my engagement grew, my leads grew again, my sales grew again. But I created less original content. Go figure. Okay. So when you kind of hear things like this, I know it's easy to go, yeah, that's a really good idea. I should probably do that. The trick to these kind of trainings is not to listen to the idea and say, I should do that. You actually go and action it. So what I would encourage you to go and do today or tomorrow is go and scan. Let's sort of go by platform. Facebook, scan back, just keep scrolling back until you get back, a month or two, or even sort of 3 months ago. Start scanning your posts and evaluate what was a good post, what worked well, what were your kind of 5 top performing posts from 3 months ago. Pick them out, and then you copy and paste, you plug them in AI, and you ask AI to give you an updated version or a different version of the same type of post and repost it next week. Okay, just at a minimum, do that from Facebook. No one will know. Okay, save yourself a hell of a lot of time coming up with new content. And if you're on Instagram or TikTok, like you're doing short form video or even reels on Facebook, scroll your feed of previous videos that you've done. Scroll down, find one that got reasonable views, and then you go and repurpose it. And the only thing that you really change is the cover. So if someone's scrolling it, it's slightly different wording, but you use the exact same video, the exact same description, the exact same call to action. Go and make life easier for yourself. So that's the action items that I would really encourage you to do, like the written posts on Facebook and also short form video, and get into the groove of that, and just make life a lot easier for yourself. It's working really well for me. And as I said, my business has grown last month because, of doing this. The most important thing is that I'm still showing up. It's hard for me to show up sometimes at the moment with what I'm going through with my health. If any of you kind of know that story, obviously it's challenging going through the chemo treatments and all the rest of it, but I don't use that as an excuse. I could easily, I spoke about that on my live video yesterday. If you missed my live video yesterday, and go and watch the replay of that regarding sort of mindset stuff, it'd be very easy for me to back away at the moment and not show up and not go live and, I don't have to do these videos for you. I do these videos for you to help you, but I'm also sharing with you what I'm doing in my real life, in my business, which is not necessarily easy at the moment, but it's strategies that I'm adopting and using to adapt to what's going on for me in my life right now. And it's working in multiple ways. And that's why I'm sharing it with you. So I do hope that you find sort of what I share with you, what's going on with my life and how I adapt, and the things that I'm doing and the things that are working for me that I share with you. But I just really encourage you to actually go and do something about it for yourself in your own business. Don't just listen to it and go, yeah, I should probably do that. Like, actually go and do it and see how it works for you. Put it into action. The only thing that moves the needle forward is when you go and do, not just listen to what you should do and think it's a good idea. Actually go and do the do. Okay. Kim, love that idea. Thank you. I progressed to be posting daily on Facebook, and I'm now at day 24. Well done. I'm celebrating that. I'll go back to the beginning and pick a couple I can repurpose from for day 30. I keep going with my commit. Absolutely, Kim. So well done for you for posting daily. That's amazing. But don't think, if you're posting daily, don't put the pressure on yourself, Kim, to think I've got to come up with a new piece of content every day. Like, if you're already at day 24, I guarantee you, Kim, you can go back to the first 7 days and plug it in AI and say, can you give me a slightly different version of this? Just make it a lot easier for yourself to keep going. That'll definitely help you, Kim. But well done for that consistency. Amazing. I appreciate what you share. I've got a lot going on being a carer for aged parents. There you go. It doesn't matter what it is. We've all got our stuff going on. Like, aging parents, I get it. I'm still managing my dad with dementia in the nursing home. It is a daily battle. A daily battle with the conversations that we have and what he shares with me every day. Anyway, that's a different story, but everybody's got their stuff. You've all got your own stuff. Just implement some of these strategies that I'm sharing with you in this video, and it'll just help you show up a little bit easier rather than backing away and not posting at all. Okay. No worries, Kim, you're welcome. Okay, so I hope this is helpful. Go and put those things into place, and I will see you next week. I'm away next week. So I will be live this time next week, but that's actually the only live I'm doing next week because I'm actually I'm going to be away. Just had to reschedule a trip because of my chemo treatments, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, but you will see me live next week. Just watch out for the notifications, but I'll only be live once next week, not twice. Okay, so I'll catch you then.